So it's Wednesday, we're in the first week of March, and I've been down to Wales to collect my koi. Was being quarantined. These were the fish that I bought while I was in Japan in November of last year. So a couple of months ago. They've been in quarantine since before Christmas, so they've got a good run in quarantine. Make sure that they were cleaned and no parasites, nothing, no lurgies lurking. So they're all in now. You may not know what they are, but if you look at all the smaller koi, they are the new ones that are in. And so just really good to be able to get them back. Some of the sagi, which is excellent. Sankey there, the tantra showa, the showa that's there with the black patch in its eye. There's 5 fish that came back from Japan. Obviously I have other fish in Japan, but they're remaining there with the goal of hopefully going in a Japan koi show, which I leave in my dealer's hand, Mike Snaden. So I did a video of unboxing these koi, and I had it like, how do you transfer fish out of a bag into your pond, and I showed all the steps. And unfortunately a little bit of error on my side, but I lost all the footage, 20 minutes of video. So I'm just doing this video as a way to keep something alive on YouTube for all you subscribers out there. So this is the new fish that's in. It's Wednesday. I just came back from the gym, and I was away in America working, and so the fish are all looking good. I'll probably go over and manually drop some food in so you can see them feeding. Many of you send messages asking about koi and age. This Ogon Momotaro is actually only Sansai, and I think last time I measured it, which had been last year, was 74 centimeters. So maybe this year it'll get up to shy of 80 or even 80 centimeters at Yonsai. That will be on par for Yonsai Ogon. And so a number of the fish are looking good for koi shows, which is my main goal. Although this year, because of work and being abroad, I'm not sure how many koi shows I can show before the summer. It might be any ones that are after August. I might be able to do those ones instead. This year, for a change, try something a bit different. So I'm just going to pause this, and I'll go get some food in for a moment. Okay, so I've been in, press the button, let some food fall in for a moment. Some of you are asking about, do I run my bottom drains? And the answer is generally no, although this year I've had them on, but very, very low. The water don't erupt jacuzzi style. It just sort of come up, and before it hits the top, it's sort of dying off anyway, so it just sort of dies at the top. So it's quite a gentle thing at the top, and just to mix the water a bit. But although I've had it off for the last couple of weeks, it's only been on a timer on for an hour, off for 23 hours sort of thing, and to be honest, I probably don't even need it on at all. So they're there if I need them, especially if I'm treating. I tend to run them, but as I've already treated these koi 3 weeks ago or so with potassium permanganate, my koi are all clear. The new ones that are coming, I will now sort of keep my eyes on them over the next couple of weeks and see how they are, see also how the existing koi in the pond are behaving, because normally, in my experience, is that if there's something, it's not necessarily the koi that they're bringing that will show the signs of a parasite. It might be your existing koi that is in the pond that might start acting funny. So it's good at this time, anytime you add fish to your pond, make sure it's quarantined. And then also, it's in an ideal world, you should have a quarantine yourself. And I'm sort of talking from what you should do, not ideal. I don't have a quarantine, but I'm very selective where I buy my fish from. My fish I select in Japan, or they come from Yumikoi, Japan. And he has his own system for doing that. So, but in an ideal world, every koi keeper should have a quarantine tank. And somebody asked me how big a quarantine tank you need is, well, whether you're on a water meter and space and all those things all add up. But I think ideally 1500 gallons quarantine tank is perfect. And if I had the ability, that's what I would run, a 1500 gallon tank. I would buy one from Easy Pond or one of the guys who build these sort of like plug and play ponds. I wouldn't bother building one because I like the ability to move it if I need to be, or get rid of it. And I would just stick a Nexus on it and an electro heater. All of they're expensive, but the goal is never to have it running. Once I've finished quarantine, the goal will be to drain it, clean it, and leave it dry. So that's how I would use a quarantine because of my circumstances. I'm on a water meter, so, and I know a number of you are. So you've got to sort of keep the bills down. And so I'm even talking about bills. I'm even contemplating closing down my Discus setup because of all the heating things I need. There's a rabbit just running by. All the heating setup I need, I want to make sure that's closed off and sort of conserve on the money and those things. So yeah, so this is just a short video on the fish. And sorry, like I lost all them videos on how you bring a fish in to the system, how you introduce them into your pond, and just so I can tell you, hopefully you might be able to understand what I'm saying just without pictures. But I have two bowls. One bowl I have mixed with my pond water. Half of that bowl is my pond water, and then I release the fish after they've sort of been floated in the pond for about 20 minutes or so to equal the temperature. I release the fish into that pond. Then and then after a little bit, I would move the fish out of the bowl by hand into another bowl, which is just purely my pond water, where I'll do the measuring. I know what size it is at, and then basically from there, the fish would be then lifted into the pond. So really, I never really get the water from the bag, which is what they came in, into my system itself. I tend to keep that water out of there. So that's the way I do it. And for the years I've been doing it, that's the way I do it. And also I do introduce salt into that first bowl that I mentioned, which has a mixture of my pond water and the water in the bag that they came from. And the bags are never around the pond. The bags are always sort of left to dry in the garage. I don't dispose of the bags because I could use them again. Nothing's wrong with them. They just need to be dried. Once they've been dried for a few weeks, and in my case, they'll be there for a few months, nothing would live in a dry bag. It will be dead because it will dry off in that way. So that's the way I do it. And I see a lot of people, they sock fish from a bowl with the bag water, as it were, into their pond. And to me, that's a no-no. You try to get the fish into the pond without any of that transport water in your tank, in your system, where they came from. So, and I tend to lift them by hand. I don't sock them back in. And some people are not comfortable doing that. I've been doing this for a number of years, so I'm comfortable lifting the koi into the pond without using any sock and anything that way. So hopefully that makes sense. Send me a message if it doesn't, and hopefully I am able to show you how I do that in that way. So there's a couple of fish here for sale in this pond. So if you're interested at any of these koi you see swimming around here, send me a message. You can email me at rastakoi@googlemail.com and rastakoi@googlemail.com, and in that way I can either answer your questions, or if you're interested in like the Asagi, that's for sale, and that Sankey there is for sale as well. It's great for the koi show, young koi show. Just let me know. All right, so that's it for now. So don't forget, also I should remember, but don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button, so whenever I put a video on again, you're able to be first to be alerted for that. So that's all from me for now. Peace out.